Today I'm going to show you how I dice watermelon. I've been picking watermelons out lately by comparing the two buttons. One is where the blossom is, the side, and then one is where the stem is. The bigger the difference between these two circles, the better the watermelon. I've tried a lot of different methods of picking watermelon over the years. This is the one I'm using lately, but I'd love to know what your favorite way is. So once you have your watermelon, we want to cut the top off, and then we want to cut it in half. So now you have a circle of watermelon with two flat faces. From here, the process is pretty straightforward. All you're doing is going around the watermelon and cutting off the rind. You're curving down as you cut, and you're just rotating along. There's no right number of cuts or certain level of efficiency that you have to have. I have found that when the rind sticks on like this, I like to cut it off. Early on, when I first started using this method, I was being very careful to try to keep as much of the fruit on as possible. And I ended up getting a lot of marginal pieces, and so I tend to be pretty liberal in terms of how much I'm willing to cut off, and it's made a better product at the end. So now that we've removed all of the rind, we're going to put it on one of the flat faces, and we're just going to cut it into strips. I kind of think of these as watermelon steaks. I've seen some people grill watermelon, and this looks like the kind of watermelon slice that you'd want to grill. So if that's your thing, then you probably already know how to do this part. Once you have the full piece cut, I rotate each of them and flip them on their sides. So now we have stacks of watermelon slices or steaks. From here, we're going to cut it. You can cut it either way. In this example, I'm cutting it long ways. But what we're doing here is we're just cutting it into 4 or 5 different pieces, and it's going to yield these spears. You can eat them as is. Obviously, it's all watermelon. It's all delicious. Once those are all done, rotate it, and then cut it again, and you can already see that the cubes are starting to form here. I was joking with my kids that this looks like a Minecraft watermelon. I always have a challenge where I try to put as many of the cubes in at one time into the bucket, so feel free to take that and enjoy your cutting of watermelon or do it in a more efficient way. The height of the stacks here really depends on the length of your knife. I use a fairly small knife relative to the job I'm doing here. But you can see it's fast and efficient. When you get the hang of this, you can tear through a watermelon in 1 to 2 minutes, from a normal watermelon to a bowl full of this. A fantastic way to serve watermelon.